All right, let's get right into it. We hear it all the time, right? Get enough calcium for strong bones. But here's the thing. What if just eating calcium-rich foods or popping a supplement is only half the story? Today, we're digging into the real secret. It's not just about how much calcium you get, but how much your body can actually absorb and use.
And this quote right here, it's the perfect way to think about it. Imagine your body is a clay pot, and calcium is the water. If that pot is full of cracks, well, a ton of that water, that super important calcium, is just going to leak right out. It never even gets to your bones, where you need it the most. So this brings us to what we're calling the leaky pot problem. See, the real challenge isn't just about what you eat. It's about all those little leaks, things like age or even other foods in your diet that are stopping that calcium from doing its job.
Which leads to a really important question you've got to ask yourself. Is your strategy just to keep pouring more and more water into a leaky pot, just hoping some of it stays in? Or are you actually working on fixing the leaks to make sure every single drop counts?
Okay, so if we're going to fix those leaks, we first have to understand how calcium even gets into our system. Let's take a little journey and follow it from your food all the way into your body. So your body basically has two front doors for calcium. Over here on the left, you've got active absorption. You can think of this like the VIP entrance with a bouncer. It's very selective, and it's controlled by vitamin D, which actively pulls calcium in. Then on the right, there's passive absorption. This is more like the general admission gate. It just kind of opens when there's a huge crowd of calcium waiting outside. The thing is, most of our absorption happens to that first VIP door.
And this is where those leaks really start to show up. Our ability to absorb calcium changes, like a lot over our lifetime. When you're a teenager, your body is incredible. It's absorbing up to 60% of the calcium you eat. But then look what happens. As a healthy adult, that number gets cut in half, down to about 30%. And for older adults, it can seriously drop to 15% or even less. That is a massive, massive decline.
So, if our natural ability to soak up calcium goes down over time, what do? Are we just stuck? No way. The answer is teamwork. See, calcium isn't a solo act. It absolutely needs critical partners to work effectively.
And its most important partner by far is vitamin D. Remember that VIP entrance we just talked about? Well, vitamin D is literally the key that unlocks the door. If you don't have enough vitamin D, that main gateway for calcium stays locked shut. It doesn't matter how much calcium is lined up outside waiting to get in.
And then you've got magnesium, the other essential ally. It's kind of the unsung hero of the story. If vitamin D is the key, think of magnesium as the helper that makes sure the key is cut correctly so it actually fits in the lock. Magnesium helps turn vitamin D into its active, usable form. So without enough magnesium, even having plenty of vitamin D won't do you much good.
Okay, so if vitamin D and magnesium are calcium's best friends, who are the enemies? Well, it turns out that things you eat every day can either be a huge help or a huge roadblock. So let's break down the everyday boosters and blockers of calcium absorption.
On the left, we've got the boosters. Of course, vitamin D is number one. But check this out, small doses. Your body is way better at absorbing calcium in smaller amounts. We're talking under 600 milligrams at a time. Now, look at the blockers on the right. Some of these might actually surprise you. Super healthy foods like spinach are high in something called oxalates, which can prevent calcium from being absorbed. Same for phytates in things like raw grains. And yep, too much salt and caffeine are on the list too.
All right, we've gone through the problem, we've gone through the science. Now it's time for the most important part, your action plan. This is how you actually take back control and start fixing those leaks so that every single milligram of calcium you take in counts.
Here it is, 4 simple but really powerful steps. First, get those vitamin D levels optimized. That's a non-negotiable. Second, spread out your calcium during the day. Don't try to get it all in one meal. Third, create that power team. Pair your calcium-rich foods with magnesium-rich foods like nuts or seeds. And fourth, just be a little more mindful of those blockers, like that extra salt or that third cup of coffee.
And to make this super practical, here are the numbers you should be aiming for. For most adults, you're looking at about 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams of calcium per day. For vitamin D, that's 600 to 800 international units. And for magnesium, it's around 400 to 420 milligrams for men and 310 to 320 for women.
These are your daily targets.
And hey, for those of you who use supplements, here are a couple of pro tips. Number 1, always take them with a meal. It really helps with absorption. Number 2, look for a supplement that already combines calcium with vitamin D. It's a great shortcut. And number 3, if you happen to have low stomach acid, you might want to consider calcium citrate. It's a form that's way easier for your body to absorb. So we end right back where we started, with this simple but honestly pretty powerful question. From now on, I hope you see that building strong bones isn't just about dumping more calcium into the pot. It's about being smart, being strategic, and fixing the leaks to make sure what you put in actually stays in and does its job. The real question is, are you ready to start patching?